Welcome. I'm going to show you very quickly how to label molecules and measure molecules. So let me pull up my Pymol viewer here and get a model opened up. I'm going to do my favorite molecule, which is of course GD. There's numerous ways we can label a molecule. Probably the fastest is to right click, go to label residues, and it'll label it with the 3-letter code and the position. One of the things you don't want to do is go to residue and try to go down to this. I spent a long time on this the first time I did it. Label residue name. It's going to label all the molecules as valine, and what that's really doing is taking all the major molecules in that residue and labeling them all. So you really don't want to be doing that. Oh, I must have missed that label. Okay. Oop, I got rid of both of them. Okay, so I can also very quickly come up to here. Excuse me. There's a leucine in here. I can also I can label it from there very quickly. If I wanted to label all these, I can label all these. So now all of these are labeled and in that alpha helix. Well, not all of them, but a good chunk of them, as is this leucine. If I click on this leucine and I want to get the side chains, I click on the side chain to stick. That shows this leucine right there. If I click on this aspartate, I can show its side chain right there. I'm also going to color that side chain so that the red and the blue are showing up correctly, and then I'm going to zoom in here. That's a right click and drag. So besides being able to label right there, if I click on that label and the wizard and click on label here, I can label any number of amino acids very quickly. Otherwise, I can also click measurement, and I can click here and here between the two molecules, and it's going to show that I have a 4 angstrom distance between those residues. That's a very, very effective way of labeling and seeing. So that would put it in the possible category of a van der Waals forces right there. So that's a very quick and effective way of labeling, and a very quick and effective way of measuring the distance. If I want to do so I'm going to zoom out a little bit again. So I'm dragging and right clicking. If I want to do a big label, I can do or a label that's not associated with a molecule. If down at the bottom here, you'll notice I'm typing pseudoatom GD label. That gives it a name, and then I can type in. I'm cutting and pasting, but you can type in. So I'm going to label this GD label. I'm going to label it or put the text in there, GD2 306. Now, I don't know if you caught that, but that's now in there. I can use the set label position moniker, and that will move it around. There's a way to make that. I need to find out where that is, but I can move just so that if I do this, it's going to set all of them that size or that in that position. But there's a set label size and a set label position that you could use to very quickly move it to where you want to go. So if let me hide all the other labels on this thing. That way you so I'm going to move that. That makes it big. And then if I set label position, it's going to move it down there. If I want to I can hide this label if I want to. Oh, I need to Let me hide this label real quick. So I just hid that label. If I clear these labels, so now I have this molecule. I have a big label right here that I can use to identify it. I know there's a way you can effectively move a label by label position by associating it with a pseudo atom name and as well as a label size. I'm sure it's in the Pymol wiki that exists. So anyway, that'll give you a start. If you combine all the different characteristics of making a movie, this labeling, you should be able to get some pretty exciting and interesting things going on. Hope that helps. Next, I'll be looking how to incorporate some of these labels into some of the other programs.